All right, here we go. Thank you so much for hanging out once again. Here it's the Damon Bruce Show on Damon Bruce Plus. What a little community we're building. It's amazing. We got people here showing up early, like 20 minutes early to start chit-chatting with each other. And it's awesome. Thank you so very, very much. It is good to be with you once again here. And we're just going to hop right into the single biggest story from the world of sports yesterday. The fact that the Green Bay Packers have traded Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. It's been 40, 50 days in the making. I mean, sick and tired of just hearing about this. I actually saw a guy who is part of the Aaron Nagler. If you're from the Midwest and you spend any time around Packers Bears rivalry, there's this guy named Aaron Nagler who runs the Cheesehead Network or podcast or whatever he does. Anyway, big Packers fan. Been following him for years. And the guy who works along with Aaron wrote simply about Brian Gutekunst, the Packers general manager, that he played this thing like a Stradivarius. Like, he said, so, number one, you allow the Jets to talk to Rodgers before the deal is even in place. Number two, you leak Packers' favorable narratives into the media. Number three, you know that Aaron Rodgers is going to have the irresistible urge to set the record straight. And now he's going to overcommit his desires to play for the New York Jets. Step number four, just wait, let the media process turn. And number five, cash in. That's what Brian Gutekunst did. Not only did he have an asset that was valuable to begin with, but he increased the value of the asset by just letting the asset do his talking for him. Kind of a brilliant move when you think about it. It really is. Hold on, sip of delicious coffee coming right up, and then we're going to get into the anatomy of this deal, and we're going to look at it from three different ways. We're going to look at it from the NFL's overall look at it, Packers fans, and Jets fans. Oh, that's good coffee. All right, so here we go. The price was steep. The price was steep for Aaron Rodgers. The Packers sent Rodgers to New York. They flipped first-round picks and sent a fifth-rounder to the Jets, like I said, for a first, a second, a sixth-rounder in this draft, and the second-rounder of next year becomes a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps. So a great Bay Area broadcaster, R.I.P. Ralph, used to say, two things can be equally true. And what we have here are two things that I think are equally true. Number one, it is absolutely the wrong time, I think, to be getting into the Aaron Rodgers business. The best of him is in the rearview mirror. The season that we saw last year was definitely his most shaky since we've seen him in the NFL as a starter and, a preordained first ballot Hall of Famer. The aging process and the NFL felt like it caught up with Aaron a little bit last year. So I think that that's true. And the numbers, the record, the statistics all reflect that being true. The second element of a statement that is also true is that if you're the New York Jets, you have to do this deal. No matter what style of Aaron Rodgers you get, it's definitely better than Zach Wilson. I mean, Aaron Rodgers or Zach Wilson's you got to win a football game today. Who are you going to start, Aaron Rodgers or Zach Wilson? Well, the one guy was the number 2 pick in the draft, and he would just shut up. It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers on a gurney is better than a completely healthy Zach Wilson banging his mom's friend, which I guess he also did. So let's look at this from the perspective of a Jets fan. Let's just start there. If you're a Jets fan, yesterday was one of the greatest days of your entire sporting life. Like, congratulations, Jets fans. You have a quarterback of historical significance. Now, his significance might be a little bit more history than present or future, but it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. You can't deny the fact that guy is going to be the tide that raises all boats in the harbor. He's going to inspire great confidence in players, in the coaching staff. He's also going to yell at everybody. He's Aaron Rodgers. We all know what comes with that. And what comes with that is a chance to win any football game that you're in. So if you're a Jets fan, yesterday is one of the greatest days of your entire Jets life. Full stop. Josh Allen is still the best quarterback in your division. But the Jets, as far as an overall team, because they are well built, that is a good defense. They do have weapons. The Jets, I don't think, are on that AFC 1 line with the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals, but they're right under it now. I mean, they're absolutely right under it, and if Aaron Rodgers comes out and looks like the best of Aaron Rodgers, it won't take long for them to join that 1 line. They will be among the AFC's best as they're constructed, as their coach, at Aaron Rodgers. It's easy to see how that all gets better. So, look, I saw this too. Since 2008, the New York Jets in the NFL have been dead last in touchdown to interception ratio, dead last in passing touchdowns, and second to last in overall passer rating. That's since 2008. Over the exact same time, Aaron Rodgers in those same 3 categories has been first, and second. So it's a massive upgrade. Again, Jets fans, I never spent a day in my life rooting for you. I kind of laughed at you, but I'm tired of laughing at wayward fans who are just dying for a little something decent. That's why I'm kind of happy for the Sacramento Kings, and we'll get to them. Warriors possibly caught a big break. Pun intended. It's a good day to be a New York Jet. Does it mean you're about to be Super Bowl champions? No, I don't think so. You're going to need to slow your roll on that just a little bit. This whole notion that Aaron Rodgers equals we're in the Super Bowl. It didn't even equal that more than once in his 15 years as a starter with the Packers. So just showing up, going to go right to the Super Bowl just because? No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Remember, Aaron Rodgers and Colin Kaepernick have been to the same number of Super Bowls. When you say it out loud like that, it sounds kind of shocking, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, Aaron won his, Colin did not, but 2 guys, very different careers, same amount of Super Bowl appearances. That's a fact. I want to talk about this for Packers fans. Again, I showed you last week, I grew up with the Chicago Bears in my heart. I grew up caring deeply about the Chicago Bears. So let me just say, to all Green Bay Packers fans in the world, I'd like to congratulate you on being the Minnesota Vikings once again, because that's what you are now. After nearly 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play, you're just another football team again. Aha. Aha. By the way, 2 Super Bowls out of 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play, that's another embarrassment in and of itself. But the Packers are about to be on TV less than Packers fans are accustomed to. They're about to lose to the Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings more than they're accustomed to. Like, all of that is about to happen. That's the new reality. The Packers are basically, once again, Lambeau Field, blah, blah, blah. That's what the Packers are again. Before Brett Favre got there, it was Don Majkowski, and it was pre-Reggie White, and it was Lambeau Field and blah, blah, blah. That's all the Packers really had. Lambeau Field, blah, blah, blah. Vince Lombardi, blah, blah, blah. History, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I know as a Bears fan, I shouldn't be saying history, blah, 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 because that's all that franchise is built on right now. But anyway, I digress. So Packers fans, welcome back to Earth. You're just the Green Bay Packers. That's all. That's it. You were special there for a minute. You're no longer special. From a Bears fan standpoint, thank God. Thank God that guy's done more to own the Chicago Bears than any other NFL player in NFL history. He was the ultimate thorn in the side of the Chicago Bears. Aaron Rodgers stripped them naked and beat them in public every single chance he got. He was masterful in kicking the Chicago Bears' ass almost single-handedly every single time you looked up. So good riddance to that guy. My final thought on this, again, I think I've already kind of slid it in here to this monologue, is that the Jets are a better football team today. There is no debating that. The Packers are a worse football team today. There's no debating that. Bears fans are breathing a sigh of relief. There's no debating that. But the whole notion that Aaron Rodgers equals Super Bowl for the New York Jets, write it down, honey, is a bit of a farce. And it's a stretch. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. But the chances of it not happening are much greater than the chances of it happening. And the truth is, I really think Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets will not be a good fit or a match made in heaven. Aaron Rodgers has the biggest set of rabbit ears on him of any quarterback in football. He really does. I think that the Packers played that against him in this trade because whenever he hears something, he just can't absorb it. He has to address it. He has to set the record straight. I mean, he's going to be going on the Pat McAfee show 4 times a week just based on the way the New York media is going to dissect everything he does. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, there is no such thing as a small NFL team. They're all big. They all get attention. But the amount of attention that comes from a Green Bay media, a Wisconsin media, and the New York City media are two totally different animals. The kowtowing, the ring kissing that he has become accustomed to, that is going to not be in New York. He will loathe the NFL media, the New York media, instantly. Like the minute they have a 3-game losing streak, the knives will be out for Aaron Rodgers in ways that he cannot believe. So there is a breaking point, I think, in just how Aaron doesn't want to be here anymore that could become a real flavor of this upcoming New York Jets season. So there you go. That is the big topic in sports in the world right now. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. It's good. It's bad. It's happened. Thank God our long national nightmare is indeed over. We move on to the fact that there's another little quarterback story out there, and it involves John Lynch changing his tune on Trey Lance greatly in just the last 24 hours. There was a press conference down in Santa Clara. John Lynch basically said, and I quote, "I expect Trey Lance to be here, and we're excited about Trey Lance's ability to compete and what he can do for our franchise, just as we were when we drafted Trey." Sounds good. Sounds a little different than the messages coming out of 49ers headquarters in just the last 2-3 weeks, where they were absolutely, maybe not aggressively, actively shopping for a deal for Trey Lance, but they put him on the bargain bin rack and hoped that they would get something more than a bargain. They didn't. Obviously, the reason why Trey Lance probably is less likely to be traded than the rumors that he would be traded were growing are because I don't think they got the offer that they were looking for more than anything else. The whole we believe in Trey as much as we did the day they drafted him. Okay, so that is a little bit of an exaggeration. I don't want to call it a lie, but it's an exaggeration. Trey Lance was drafted to be the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, and if everybody's healthy on this depth chart, he might be third. He might be third. Let's see how in love with Sam Darnold Kyle Shanahan falls in training camp. Brock Purdy, obviously, is the QB in waiting. At least that's how he's being positioned. So this whole, we see Trey in the same light as we did the day we drafted him. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can't. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just what happened. They might not be shopping him, but they definitely put him on the for sale rack. No big buyers. They did not get the price that they sought, that they hoped for with Trey Lance. And I think that that is a huge part of the reason why the change in tune. And it's probably the right thing to do. I mean, if Brock Purdy, for whatever reason, if this elbow surgery doesn't take and he doesn't rebound all the way and is able to participate in the year, having a guy like Trey Lance around to finally see what he can do is the right thing. And honestly, it's impossible to evaluate Trey Lance's value. It's simply impossible. We have no idea what he is. We have no idea what he is going to be. So everyone just kind of needs to just sit and wait to find out whether or not he turns into Superman for the Niners or turns into a more of an asset that another team would be willing to give more for. And maybe there's an in-season trade, although that feels less likely. I was basically sitting in the I wouldn't be surprised if he were traded before or during the NFL draft. I now would be surprised if that indeed happened. It feels like the tune has changed. The tone has changed coming out of Santa Clara. One more sip of coffee, and then we're talking some Warriors. Ooh, that means, Damon, go ahead. Be your own graphic producer and hit this button. Ready? Boom. Bottom line changed. Look at that. NBA action coming your way. All right. So, by the way, if you are chatting right now, I'm sorry I'm not looking at that. I'm going to be looking at all of it when we get to Club Plus. It's going to happen. The Warriors. Have they caught a huge break? We'll see, right? We will see. Every game so far in this series has come with what felt like a major adjustment. Maybe less so between games 1 and 2, but obviously game 3, you had the Draymond suspension. In game 4, you got Draymond coming off the bench and then rejoining the starting 5. You got Kevon Looney sort of really making himself felt in this series starting in game 3. The Warriors have evened things up. We have seen role players on both teams fade when on the road and excel when at home. Warriors have 3 players that they can just count on game in, game out in this series, and that's really it. Curry, Wiggins, and Looney. Everyone else is a case-by-case basis, including Clay, who just had a really good game 4, and that's important. The most important thing that could shape how this series looks out now is De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has been the best player on the court in every game in this series. That is the maybe one through line of the entire series. The best the Warriors have been able to do is turn De'Aaron Fox into a volume shooter. There is no shutting down De'Aaron Fox. He has arrived. He is on the scene as one of the best players in this league right now. He has a broken finger on his shooting hand. He may give it a go with a brace and some protection. Woj had the story. I saw Shams was on it too. Kings guard De'Aaron Fox fractured the very tip of his, just the tip. The very tip of his left index finger in game 4. There is hope he'll try to play in game 5. And the only thing I can tell you, the Warriors got to win game 5, I think, to win this series, and the path to victory is right there on the tip of De'Aaron Fox's index finger. I am coming down on his, if he goes out there and he plays, and I really think he will. De'Aaron Fox is the kind of guy who I don't think he's going to let a little pain and discomfort keep him out of this series. If I'm the Warriors, I am fouling that hand as hard as possible. I am testing it. Call it dirty pool. I call it playoff basketball, and that's how playoff basketball is played. He has been cooking the Warriors. And if the Warriors are able to win in Game 5 in Sacramento tomorrow night because De'Aaron Fox is hurt, great. That's called sports. No apologies need be made. I already see my friend Nick Wright is on his bullshit about, the Warriors wouldn't have won over the Cleveland Cavaliers if Kyrie hadn't hurt himself and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I never realized that it was the responsibility of the Warriors training staff to keep all their own team and their opponents healthy as well. Injuries happen in sports. They happen all the time. It's a part of the landscape. It changes postseason games and outcomes, and you can't go crying about it. I mean, I don't hear Warriors fans really complaining and crying much about the Toronto Raptors winning their NBA title because Durant blew out his Achilles, and we all know what happened to Klay Thompson's ACL. I don't hear that brought up very much. It happens. That happened. I hope De'Aaron Fox can go. If I had my druthers, everyone would be totally healthy come big games in every direction in sports for all time. I don't want a less than product ever out on the court or the field or in the arena or the stadium during the playoffs. I want best versus best. Me being 10 out of 10 while you're 10 out of 10, let's go see who's better. That, to me, that's what I'm there for. If De'Aaron Fox really is hampered, there is no way you can say the Sacramento Kings are going to do what you can expect them to do at home. It opens up a path to victory. Opens up a path to victory for the Golden State Warriors. Couple more NBA notes. The Lakers got the Grizzlies on the ropes last night with an overtime win, a 20-20-7 game for LeBron James. He's basketball Superman. I mean, he really is. That guy does shit that no one his age should be able to do. He can't play a solid every minute of the game he's dominating level of game anymore, but when he picks and chooses his moments, He is successful in those moments more often than he fails. He was spectacular last night. LeBron James, like, write that name down. You might hear something from him. He's pretty good. He overcame a soft Anthony Davis game. He overcame a Dennis Schroeder game, who was literally like throwing the ball away 4 or 5 times down the stretch in 4 or 5 critical possessions. That guy was a human turnover. He was a demerit more than he was a merit for the Lakers late in that game. LeBron was incredible. And John Morant and Dylan Brooks don't even bother talking to the media. That's why you're a bunch of immature douchebags. Grow up. Grow up, Memphis Grizzlies. Seriously, it would do you some good. It really would. See Dylan Brooks saying LeBron can't go left, and he went left on basically the bucket that iced the game, that big layup and one off the top of the glass. Oh, that was awesome. Speaking of awesome on the NBA court, who was better than Jimmy Buckets last night? Jimmy Butler. He's got the Bucks on the ropes now. Giannis had a triple-double in defeat. Jimmy Buckets, 56-9. 56 points, 9 rebounds for Jimmy Butler, who was in full hero ball, just Rucker Park, on the king of the court mode. Fuck your offense, Eric Spoelstra. I'm going to just do it my way. He was a show. I love Jimmy Butler. Where's that Jimmy Butler all playoff? The Miami Heat aren't going to have to be out of playoff play-in tournaments if Jimmy Butler went ahead and played like that in the regular season. My God. For the first time in NBA history, not that we have much NBA play-in history, but it looks like for the first time in NBA history, teams that came out of the play-in tournament to secure the 7 and 8 seeds are going to go on to advance. It looks like Miami has a real good shot to take out Milwaukee, and it looks like the Lakers are going to take out the Grizzlies. So, au revoir, 3 seed? Or 2 seed? Yeah, 3 seed? Or, yeah, whatever the Grizzlies were. Yeah, they were the 3. And au revoir, 1 seed in the East? Ooh, what a fallen flat on their face season it will be for the Bucks if that's indeed what happens. One more thing, as we have a very interesting night of NBA basketball coming up tonight. 3 opportunities for series to get closed out. Kawhi Leonard is not playing. Paul George is not playing. So it feels like the Suns are going to close out the Clippers tonight. I mean, Russell Westbrook's going to have to drop 80 all by himself. I don't think he's got that in him. He's been really impressive lately, but I don't think he's got that ready to go. I saw this note. Read today that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker have combined to score 250 points through 4 games, the highest point total between two teammates in the first 4 games of any postseason since Jordan and Scottie did that, scoring 260 through the first 4 games of the 1992 Bulls postseason. So Durant and Booker, they are cooking. They're cooking with fire right now. If they keep it up, I think they close that one out. We are not going to give you much baseball. But, man, for the first time in a long time, Giants fans were actually able to use the phrase complete game shutout. Alex Wood had a complete game shutout of the St. Louis Cardinals last night. He goes the 3rd longest stretch between complete game shutouts in one's career, over 10 years since he had a complete game shutout. It's the Giants' first complete game shutout since Madison Bumgarner back in 2016. I mean, it's so rare that anyone can, drift into the, I'm throwing 120, 130 pitches territory without his arm falling off in modern baseball. So it's something else. You don't see it very much. It's becoming more and more rare around baseball. So I guess we should celebrate it when we do see it. A's actually, hit 5 home runs last night, so they had a rally, come from behind, 10th inning win. They got a big lead, gave it up, got it back. Not a lot of joy in Mudville for A's fans, so take it where you can get it, and as always, fuck John Fisher. J.D. Davis can play third base, man. It looks pretty good. Mitch Haniger, Giants getting a little bit healthy, starting to play some better baseball. They are preordained to be an average third place kind of a baseball team. But again, considering where this year started, just getting back there, that'd be improvement. So on a night where we don't have a Warriors game to watch, we've got some NBA playoffs game, Giants on the flip back on the clicker, play some decent baseball because I'm watching. We'll wrap up today before we get into Club Plus for the party that is Club Plus. And you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go all the way down in the comments and then scroll back up so I'm not 25 minutes behind the comment line. Again, we're learning how to do this each and every day. Here is something you're never going to see in America, and that's where we're wrapping up today. Here's something you will never see in American sports. I read this on ESPN this morning that Tottenham Hotspur players are going to refund fans who traveled to watch Sunday's 6-1 humiliation at Newcastle United. The Spurs were down 5-0 in 21 minutes. Goalkeeper Hugo Lloris apologized to the 3,000 supporters who made the long trip, and the players have decided to cover the match ticket cost. As a squad, quote, "We understand your frustration and anger." This began a statement by the players to the fans. "Sunday wasn't good enough. We know words aren't enough in situations like this, but believe us, a defeat like this hurts. We appreciate your support, home and away. With this in mind, we'd like to reimburse fans with their cost of their match tickets from St. James Park." Can you imagine? Just for a minute, imagine. The 49ers go on the road. They show up, they lay an egg, and the players are like, man, to all these fans who flew to Philadelphia for the NFC title game, that was so bad. That thing went left of center so quickly. We're going to reimburse you your ticket price. Oh, can you imagine? You want to talk about something that's never going to happen. Look, I don't like soccer very much. Paying fans their ticket prices for embarrassing games on the road. All right, soccer. Okay. You got my attention with that one. Nice job. By the way, being down 5-0 in 21 minutes in a soccer game. I mean, what's that like being down 45-0 end of the first quarter in an NFL game? I mean, that is extreme. That is laying an egg for sure. So, fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff from around the world of sports. If you are listening on the podcast, thank you oh so much. We're about to get in a little something that we like to call Club Plus, but you got to be over on the YouTube page to enjoy that. Thank you so much for enjoying a little something we like to call the Damon Bruce Show. Download it wherever you get your podcasts. If you're listening to that right now, you've already done that, so I don't need to tell you anything other than thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow at 11. And sports don't build character, they reveal it. And now, get the sign flashing. Watch this. Boom. Do your cocaine off the toilet and let's go to the club. All right. It's good to have you here on Club Plus. Thank you so much for coming on by. We got people, Club Plus. They're feeling it. They're excited. Thank you very much, Khalil. Good to have you here. It is great to have you here. Yes. New rockin' era. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. It's amazing that they were able to take a one-note Saturday Night Live skit. The entire thing is, and they turned it into a movie. Like, that's incredible. That really is. Night at the Roxbury, indeed. It's incredible that they were able to do that. So, look, it is great to have you here in Club Plus. Let's see what you guys are talking about today. This is a really good point. Speaking from, this is from Mitch saying, if it were up to the A's to reimburse fans for embarrassing road losses, that would cost them like $10 or so. Sad but true. Sad but true. AJ says, take a picture because you're never going to see that refund in the U.S. ever. That's the thing. It was players decided to do it. That is either a player choice or it's the club doing this and they're making it look like the player's choice to garner some goodwill with the players. I don't know, but that is, you ain't never going to see that in the United States. We got a question here from Mooncalf. Are we going to see Goose on Friday night or what? We are. Jillian and I are going to Goose. I've never seen him before. I kind of like what I hear. I'm 78%. I'm 83%. I'm 87% sold on Goose, like so many Fish fans out there. So I'm going. Mooncalf, if you see me there, stop me, say hello. I'd love to meet you. Drew Down says, damn, that team put their money where their mouth is. That's amazing. It's seriously, it is amazing. Have you ever heard of a team saying, yeah, we got to give these fans their money back? That's how bad we were tonight. That's not something we should ever be expecting. Postman in Capitola was hearing that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are just cooking right now. He said, but they also lead the NBA in playoff minutes. Is that sustainable? That's a good question. LeBron, he played an awful lot. I mean, here's the thing. Devin Booker, he's young enough to where I'm not worried about his workload. Kevin Durant, that's another story. But I do know this about Kevin Durant. Whenever he's on a basketball court, he looks pretty damn good no matter how long he's been out there. Seriously. Drew also got this one right. Good morning to everyone except John Fisher. Hashtag FJF. Obviously, that hashtag stands for Friends of John Fisher. Yeah, talking about complete games, Austin, you're right. Modern baseball starter only pitches a few innings. I mean, what? The Giants got Bribia going tonight. So, I mean, what are you going to expect out of him? Feels like an opener, right? So, that's going to be sort of a... See it? There we go. I finally turned off the ticker. Had to get that ticker down. Let's see. We continue to scroll. We see the good people who have been waiting early, man. I mean, just waiting early. Somebody says, Damon, this is NorCal Viking. Did you see Family Guy roasting the A's? It was hilarious. You might already have talked about No! I totally missed it. And I'm a Family Guy guy. Maybe I didn't watch Sunday night's show. Maybe I didn't watch it. I got to see that. I got to absolutely see that. Look at this. Otis Bird the third. Nice to see a Giant starter going past the fifth. Yeah, you're right about that, Otis. And as always, it's great to see you in here, man. Thank you so very much. We got love coming in. Love, love, love. We don't need to share the love, but R.I.P. Cougar, you're right. Jimmy Buckets is a beast. The Lakers, this is from Sporticus. Sporticus, you got to change your handle, man, from Mets and Steelers fan to Sporticus. I know it's you, though. I keep tabs on everything. I'm like Curry. I hear it all. I see it all. I know everything, except for how many timeouts I got left. Hopefully that doesn't haunt them anymore. It's not a Laker game without Anthony Davis either, not playing on the floor or in pain for at least well, you're right about that. He always is going down. But I'll tell you, I didn't think the Lakers were going to be winning many basketball games with Anthony Davis having a borderline non-impactful moment on the court. And the reason why the Lakers have looked good against the Grizzlies is because all of a sudden Anthony Davis is playing his ass off. Now, he didn't play his ass off just the other night, last night, but man, he is good. Sporticus also on De'Aaron Fox, his mid-range floater is a beautiful thing. It's amazing how often he makes that shot, that little floater. It's like basically, you ever see a little kid let go of a balloon? That's what that floater looks like. He's just, there you go. I'm going to just finger roll right into the camera for you. That's what it looks like. Ooh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. What Golden State Lakota says, Trey's not in the clique. That's from Grant. Look, Grant might be right about that. Whatever Trey Lance was, he ain't right now. He could get back in there. but he's hardly the preordained next best thing happening to the 49ers. I'm glad you appreciate this, NorCal Viking. Damon become quite the broadcasting show engineer. We're hosting, we're producing, we're getting it all done. Getting it all done. Daniel Shabazz says, you can't trade Lance for a 4th-round pick or whatever the offers were. No, you got to get more than that. I agree. And that's the thing. I think that the 49ers were 100% listening to offers. They wanted to be blown away. They weren't blown away. So what do? They quickly pivot to let you know, oh, this is our guy. This is our guy. There's no way we're getting rid of this guy. This guy's our guy. It's what happens. It's what happens. It's what happens. Let's see here. NorCal Viking is just all over the chat today. I click on these things before I even see who they're from. As AFC North goes, I'm happy to have him gone. You must feel the same. Dude, getting Aaron Rodgers out of that division is hope for the rest of the division for the first time in like 15 years. It really is. Let me tell you, if you're a 49ers fans, I want you to subscribe to Ryan Hensley's YouTube channel. I'm a guest with Ryan. Ryan is really good on the 49ers, so he's excited that we're live today here. Ryan, thank you, man. Really nice guy. Really, really like that guy. He's a pro. Without a guy, he has got no professional broadcasting experience, but the guy's a pro. He really is. I know he's part of the Grant Cone Nation. Look, Grant and I got some water under the bridge that goes back to like Shiloh Rashal. I mean, but I think it's over and done with. His dad did me dirty, yo. I got no love for Lowell. But Grant, for being a major shit disturber, and he is a shit disturber, he's good at what he does. And he's not just good at disturbing things. He knows that team well. He does. He knows that team well. Enough players on that team have gone on record saying he knows the team well, that you have to believe it. And I believed it before I saw the Jimmy Ward video where he basically said that. I guess this is a comparison for Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson. A 1974 Pinto is an upgrade over a broken pair of roller skates. Yes, JB. Indeed. Indeed it is. I don't know what Jordan Love is going to look like. I just don't know what Jordan Love is going to look like. I don't think he is going to look that good. And if I wonder if you could sodium pentothal Gutekunst right now, if he wouldn't have told you that knowing that Aaron Rodgers was going to be gone this offseason, if I shouldn't have played Jordan Love a little bit more last year. This is from Amy. Amy says, pre-show ads, so exciting. Yeah, look at it this way. I do pre-show ads? Can we do ads pre-show? Because, God, there's an audience assembling. We have like 5-10 people getting into the chat before the show even starts. It's amazing. Love this feed, D. Bruce. Well, thank you, NC Looney. Is that what that is? I love it, too. It's an awful lot of fun. It really is. Oh, thank you very much. The Shaw says, good morning, sir. How's Jack feeling this week? Thank you very much. Jack is feeling good. Jack's feeling fantastic. He's back at school. All is well. This is from Chef A. Chef Amy, you're looking dope. Chef Amy, you wrote me one of the nicest letters I've ever been sent in my entire career. I appreciate it so very much. I appreciate you being over here, and I hope whatever you're cooking up today is absolutely delicious for everyone who's going to be eating it. Thank you so very much for joining me here. It means the world. Go ahead, tell your friend, tell your networks to subscribe. I can see that we have pretty much, I don't want to say that we were plateauing, but all of, let's call it the early adapters, the people who are going to follow me off a cliff, much less to a new place to do the show from, and I love you. I mean, you've been incredible. We've probably tapped that group out. So now, and this has all happened organically. Today is the 17th show that we've ever done live over here. We're still in our infancy. And of course, I want to keep growing like a hockey stick. Even Jillian's telling me, like, calm down, buddy. It's not gonna be that straight. I hope we're talking about the same thing. But she said, look, you're about to tap out of those first adapters, and that's when some promotion, some marketing is really going to begin. I am thrilled to announce that we've got 2 sponsors officially being attached to the show, both Ike's Sandwiches and Blackened Whiskey. I mean, Ike's has been informally attached to the show for years. So for that to be a formal situation is something that is very, very exciting, and we're thrilled to be doing that for sure. And Blackened Whiskey, that came out of nowhere. That happened because I was wearing a Metallica shirt, and my man Charles, who is the liquor rep, was watching as a fan and is like, let's do something. So we are going to be doing something. This is a request here from Khalil. Damon, please get into the UFC. Your takes would be legendary. See, I don't know if you would like it, because I got to tell you, I still like boxing. The UFC, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Unless you got some real strikers standing upright, basically a UFC fight to me, for the most part, looks like 2 guys trying to fart on each other's heads, looking for submission holds, rolling around in a ball. Like, it just doesn't do much for me. I wish I liked it. I wish I liked it, but it's just not for me. Just not for me. I'm glad that this show is for you. Thank you very, very much. Somebody here saying, what's up with the party lights, man? Dude, it's the club. It's Club Plus. It's the club that everyone's allowed in, but we might have to throw you out if you get feisty. One more thing. Ime Udoka apparently is going to be the next head coach of the Houston Rockets. So obviously he went down there, he interviewed, he didn't bang anybody's wife, and they're like, you're in. So here's the thing. He's a good coach, but that's going to stain his reputation for a while. Anyway, thank you for being an early adapter. Like I said, we're probably going to start tapping out of them soon. So this is where I'm going to ask you, if you consider yourself a pluser, if you consider yourself in the circle of love, go ahead and spread this around. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to subscribe. I would love to be, where are we right now? Subscription update on YouTube. We are 4,891 strong. I would love to come on the air tomorrow at 5,000. Certainly got to get there by the end of the week. Let's see if you can make that happen. Spread the gospel of the plus around your office, with your friends, with your family, and we'll keep on growing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you for being such an incredible audience. You're the best. And I'll talk to you again live tomorrow at 11. I know that Larry and I said we might do something tomorrow. We unfortunately had to cancel that. We'll see what we got cooking today. I know the rest of the week's going to get busy, but home and homes are going to be offered nearly 4 or 5 days a week, starting hopefully next week between Larry and I, because I think it's maybe, how about this? The 2 single best sports talk radio hosts in San Francisco aren't on the radio. So I think we'll just be over here on the internet kicking ass. And that's welcome to the new world. Welcome to the party, pal. If I can quote a little Die Hard. Thank you very much. And remember, we can't do any formal ending because we're still triggering YouTube copyright things. So we just have to say thank you very much for tuning in this morning. Every day, if you come back around, your loyalty means the world to me. Thank you so very much. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.